Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow exposes the truth about Pittsburgh Steelers outside linebacker TJ Watt. So, Joe Burrow, he was on a podcast recently talking about the NFL, his team, this upcoming season, but also he was asked a question about the best defensive player in the NFL, TJ Watt. And obviously, he had high praise for him. Having to face him twice a year for the last few years now since he's come into this league, he's had to face TJ Watt. And TJ Watt has been disruptive. Against the Cincinnati Bengals in his career, you can see TJ Watt has put up 12 sacks, 7 pass defense, and 2 interceptions, just based off of facing the Bengals alone. And Joe Burrow, when asked specifically about TJ Watt, he had this to say on the Pardon My Take podcast. Here's the quote. "Yeah, I can definitely feel him. There's no other defensive lineman that I have to treat like a DB. I have to be conscious about where he's at because he's just going to jump and catch it. And there's nobody else who can do that. You have to be alert for him in the pass game, which is very unique, I would say." End quote. So, looking at Joe Burrow's comments towards TJ Watt, it's very true. Because when you look at TJ Watt, he's like no other defensive line edge rusher that we've seen before. Because since he's come into this league, even though he does mostly kind of rush off the edge, sometimes he drops into coverage. But that's not where he gets most of his interceptions. Yes, we saw that one interception where he read the quarterback's eyes and jumped it and was able to make that great interception on almost return for a touchdown. Other than that one, most of his interceptions come at that line of scrimmage from him being able to jump up and intercept the ball. And he did that twice against Joe Burrow. That's probably where his comments are coming from, because he's intercepted Joe Burrow twice in the same game and batted down a lot of his passes. TJ Watt throughout his career has 7 total interceptions, and when you look at pass defense, he has 45. And that's a lot of pass defense. Last year, he had 8, and that was his highest in a season. But he's just been consistent throughout his career. If he cannot get to the quarterback and he knows he will not be able to kind of contribute to the play in that area in terms of getting a pressure or sack, what does he do? Well, he jumps up and tries to get in the passing lanes. And he does that really well, jumping up to either get the interception, kind of get in the quarterback's face, kind of disrupt the throwing lane, or just bat the pass down in general. And he's, just like Joe Burrow says, basically like a defensive back with his instincts, and he knows how to read the quarterback's eyes very well. He sometimes doesn't even try to go for the quarterback, and he knows it's going to be a quick pass, or he knows that it's going to be a pass to his side of the field. He'll just stay in the spot and jump up to get in the way. He has very good instincts, and that was what Joe Burrow is talking about in terms of he doesn't have to treat any other defense lineman like a defensive back except for TJ Watt. And TJ Watt does that very well. Not only does he lead the league in sacks every single year, it seems like, that he's healthy. He has 3 seasons now in which he's been in the NFL, in which he's led the league in sacks out of a 7-year career. So being in the league for 7 years, leading in 3 sacks, but also being able to get interceptions, also being able to get pass defense, TJ Watt is just a monster defensive player. And he gets the praise from a division rival and one of the up-and-coming quarterbacks in this league, Joe Burrow, being treated like a defensive back when in reality, he plays edge rusher. It's really a shame that he's only won Defensive Player of the Year one time so far in his career after having many tremendous seasons. Hopefully this season is the season in which he gets his second, but he's been robbed of Defensive Player of the Year many times already through his short-term career thus far. So hopefully he gets the praise he deserves in terms of the award category now, and not just players speaking out about him. But with that being said, that's TJ Watt, that's Joe Burrow, that's that topic. Now move over to the next topic of this video. The Pittsburgh Steelers received a payout of around or over $400 million by the NFL. So, Sportico.com conducted in-depth research into NFL's profits from the 2023 season last season, his findings revealed that the league's national revenue soared to an impressive $13 billion. And based on this revenue, the Steelers are set to receive a payout of $404 million from the league for the 2023 season. This comes in addition to the financial gains the Steelers obviously generate locally, offering a significant boost to their overall earnings. Here's a quote. Each of the 32 NFL teams received just over $400 million from the league office for the 2023 season, according to multiple people familiar with the league's finances who are not authorized to speak publicly. The tally is up 6% to 8% from the 2022 season, depending on the accounting used by the team. So, here's the quote continued. The total representation, national media rights, league sponsorships, and shared revenues and royalties from the league's various affiliates and subsalaries, such as NFL Properties, NFL International, and NFL Enterprises, adds up to roughly $13 billion. The league's media rights contracts with ESPN, Fox, CBS, NBC, Amazon, and YouTube represent the bulk of the equally shared revenue. Last season kicked off the latest rounds of deals that are worth at least $125 billion over 11 years. The NFL also had more than 36 league sponsors in 2023. Many of these brands have been partners for multiple decades, including Gatorade, Visa, Campbell Soup, FedEx, while Oakley and Lowe's both signed extensions to their deals last year. The national payout is up 115% over the past decade and should rise at a similar rate over the next decade to about more than $800 million per team, with the media deals secured. End quote. So obviously, the league is in good hands. The league's money is being made. That means the Pittsburgh Steelers owners are getting paid as well. And the Steelers team gets roughly $400 million just from the NFL alone from last season. But the thing is, though, the NFL just got a lawsuit, and it's now said to be over approximately $449.6 million. Each team will have to pay their share because of the damages which balloon to that number, meaning that the money the Pittsburgh Steelers made in terms of last season, basically all of it, or at least most of it, is going to be going to paying in their part of the lawsuit, in which has each team paying that number. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, the NFL, even though they made a lot of money this past season, they're going to have to pay a lot of money back because of the lawsuit that they received a few months back, and something that they've been dealing with for a while now. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're in good hands though. Obviously, their franchise is one of the best franchises in the NFL. It has been for many years now. But $404 million is what they received in a payout by the NFL. They're going to have to pay around $449 million on the lawsuit, but they're in good hands. But with that being said, that's the end of this video. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on both the topics I covered in today's video, basically being Joe Burrow praising Defensive Player of the Year, or should have been Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt, about how he has to treat him like a safety, he has to treat him like a cornerback, a defensive back, because of his instincts with his hands, disrupting the passing game. Not only kind of rushing the quarterback, but also being able to intercept and bat down passes. Do you believe TJ Watt is going to win Defensive Player of the Year next season? Or do you believe someone else will? Or do you believe he should have won it last year? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on that. And also let me know your thoughts on the Pittsburgh Steelers receiving $404 million, but having to pay back like $449 because of the lawsuit. Also, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you receive updates on everything Pittsburgh Steelers news. I cover everything from rumors, breaking news, just highlights, analysis, which I'm going to be covering when training camp gets underway, having all the highlights, all the analysis, so you don't want to miss out on anything of that. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I covered every new player we've gotten this offseason. Introduction is on the channel, so go ahead and check it out. Every new player. So turn on notifications, like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next video, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.